Here's a couple things you need to know if you're thinking about selling your home that you're probably not thinking about. But I'll tell you what, buyers are paying close attention and they're not to be looked past. So let's get into it. In today's Orange County housing market, we are currently experiencing much more balance between buyers and sellers. This is not new. This means buyers and sellers need to work together. Buyers are definitely asking for more and definitely asking some tough questions and paying attention to certain details that didn't used to be an issue. Two of the biggest sticking points we are seeing right now are HOA, Homeowners Association documents, and homeowners insurance. I know this is really exciting stuff, boring. Just hang with me for a couple minutes. These are not small details you can push off and currently front and center in nearly every deal. So let's start with the Homeowners Association. Buyers to review all the Homeowners Association documents and they want them right away. And delays, they're killing deals. They're looking through CC&Rs, reading meeting minutes, reviewing balance sheets, wanting to find information about litigation, rental ratios, and guess what? Good old special assessments. Rarely did we see buyers diving into these details before like they are now. I can't stress this enough. The sooner you order your HOA package, the better. HOA management companies are notoriously slow and expensive, and if your buyer doesn't get these early, you leave the door open for them to potentially back out of a deal or be able to extend their contingency timelines, which nobody wants to deal with either of those. So, small tip here. Once you're under contract in escrow, the escrow officer's job to facilitate setting all this in motion. Video for a different day, but the importance of working with a great escrow company and a competent escrow officer, this usually comes in the form of them sending the seller a link to go in and pay for this in advance. The problem is that sellers often ignore this email and put it off, which comes back to bite you in the butt a bit later. So do not delay. Now, when I say go in and pay, like I said earlier, these can be expensive. So you need to keep in mind that property management companies oftentimes charge maybe $1,000 or $2,000. So keep this in mind and that these are upfront seller costs. Okay, so now let's talk about another exciting subject, homeowners insurance. This has become one of the biggest hurdles in some of our transactions, not just in Orange County, but across all of California and in many other states across the entire United States. Many of the largest insurance companies have either significantly scaled back or completely pulled out of California altogether. The likes of State Farm, Nationwide, and Allstate, just to name a few. Premiums are up, underwriting standards are tougher, and carriers are requiring more documentation before binding a policy. We are finding that buyers are running into delays in getting through underwriting, and even worse, the sticker shock on some of these insurance quotes, depending on the risk of the home and its location, perhaps with high fire danger and closer to home for us, down here by the beach and bayfronts related to flood zoning. Remember your current policy with State Farm, Allstate, or whomever you currently use, it's not transferable. And oftentimes your current carrier will not even reinsure a new buyer policy, which oftentimes just sounds silly. The buyers will need to secure their own policy, and the challenges behind this, well, they're just real. As a seller, you need to be prepared. Have all your property details and maintenance records ready. The buyer will need details about the age of the roof and its composition, any plumbing or electrical upgrades you've made, and any specific or past claims on the property. So here's something to consider. If you've made claims against your property in the last 5 years, it can come back to haunt you. Buyers will need to know this, insurance companies are pulling records, and sometimes this alone is enough for providers to deny coverage. The bottom line is this: in today's market, we need to be proactive with your HOA documents and insurance preparedness. We need to be proactive with everything right now, but these two little, not so little items are often swept under the rug. So let's set yourself yourself apart, set you up for success, and keep your transaction on track. The last thing you want to happen is to get deep into escrow only to have the deal fall apart because the buyer's struggling to get insurance or there's some item buried in the HOA docs causing them for concerns. So just a little FYI and heads up on these items to get ahead so they don't come back and bite you in the butt later when the stakes are high and there's just a little bit less room to pivot. Okay, that's it for now. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out anytime and have a wonderful day.